around and put Fox out of his comfort zone.
Well, look out for that. That's a bit of intel.
Yeah, well, I mean, they tried to do it
Reporting live from the floor, Mr. Trivia.
Back to you in the studio, Hank.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. And it's going to be a great day today. Server conditions looking fantastic. I have to say, it's sunny on Inferno. And,
ooh,
yeah.
It's nice. That's good.
And it's going to be Dignitas versus Penta in map 2 of the best of 3. It's a semi-final right now. Both of these teams have qualified. So just to kind of set the scene for you, this is all about the money. And sometimes that's the best sort of scenario, I guess. Try and earn some cash. I think it was, what, $50,000 total for this prize pool? It was for Americas, at least.
Yeah, it's 50,000. They're all the same.
Yeah, just want to make sure.
There's no favoritism.
Just
I mean, we know NA teams are typically overpaid, but their prize pools are the same.
It's true.
So, yeah, with that said, I'm going to be watching Dignitas' form. It's good to have you here, Henry, because now you can do some real analytical stuff instead of just being harsh the whole game to one particular team for being terrible at what they were doing.
Is that you? Is that what you're doing?
That's what I was trying to do.
Did it work?
How'd
they go down?
Don't know. We'll get back to you on that one.
You got to be careful. It's a fine
let me
line.
Let me check HLTV. They're usually pretty honest about that stuff, aren't they?
What is this Sudoku guy talking about?
Yes, yeah. What is Sandonkinist on about this time?
Yeah. Well, in terms of the map pick, right, this is Penta's pick. So they get to start, or get to. They have to start T-side, really. I think the Taz will definitely be starting the CT side. They feel like they've addressed their issues. We looked pretty poor yesterday. But, like you said, maybe Big weren't really aware of the weaknesses available. You said Fox towards B wasn't pressured at all. Does that mean I haven't got my glass, I can't really watch the big screen. Did it mean Fox, was he AWPing by himself, Banana, allowing them to have 4 players at the
No, occasionally. So they weren't doing that at all yesterday. They were putting 3 out of spawn to put either a mid-smoke or a deep smoke down, but then not taking Banana, because as soon as there was any utility put out, Jacob would get kind of out to bags, and that would be about it. And then he'd get segregated from Tensky. They just weren't assertive, and therefore they could never really do either. 2 things would happen. They couldn't rotate a 4th player back to A, or they would think they're about to get engaged on and leave a 3rd player at B, leaving Arch side completely opened, which allowed them to get wrapped on, and then problem ensued. Today, they were either getting Jacob down lower in Banana or putting Fox there in the AWP and getting the 4th player back over to A, which gave them so many more options. They were also getting a little bit more aggressive in the apartments, which we didn't see from them at all on day 1.
Well, good luck, have fun. We'll get into it. Dignitas on the CT side. Penta losing a player very early on. The MVP of the team so far. Sunny goes down, but quickly replied by Innocent there. Brings it to a bit of a stalemate. It's going to be Fox hunting for information there. Very dangerous decision by him. Manages to get away with it, and still going to be the 4-on-4. We do have smokes available. We go back towards Banana, but look at T-spawn, sorry. It's going to be Tensky coming in thick and fast, and he's at the T-steps. Can he do anything about this?
Just the way you like. Croman. Flash goes over, smokes go down. What above the smokes is Fox. They don't even consider it, and they get the crossfire set. Croman backing off, has Tensky with him. He's got most of the kills. Actually, take that back. He came from Banana. I thought he was the player coming right in from CT spawn. It's just going to be HS remaining. And as a result, well, although he gets 1, the round should be done. He's on 11 HP. Molotov to push him out to the right side. And Joachim gets the kill.
Easy finish for Joachim there. It's going to be 1-0 for Dignitas. That was a little bit uninspired from Penta, I have to say. After they lost that first pick in the form of Sunny, that seems to be their go-to strategy on Inferno, especially T-side. He'll go towards apartments by himself. The rest of the team will be holding up in a particular area, maybe just holding middle, or getting ready to go towards Banana. They're hoping he can maybe find a frag or go for some rotation for it. Kills. He got taken down straight away by Tensky, and at that stage, I think they kind of panicked a bit. They weren't expecting him to die so early on in the round. They will be force buying for the second here, early days on the T side, and it's going to be Tech9 Deagles, a couple of smokes to work with. Dignitas have struggled with these second round force buys. We'll see whether they can hold on here on Inferno. Flashbang used on the roof there towards the B side of the map, but for now it's going to be Penta. Heading up towards middle. Obviously the close range weaponry like PT50's Tech9. Palmwins does make a lot of sense. Trying to bleed out the CPs any way they can now. Smokes towards mid, Arch side specifically. And they could just force their way up towards quad.
Rubino in the pit's another change they've made to leave Birdman inside of the site. Fox, Tensky, Fox, and tense times. He's gone down as Zen gets a kill with the pistol, but they managed to come out better off for it, and goodbye. Sunny the only one left. Sunny absolutely ripped apart by Rubino in the pit, so it works out for Dignitas to find round number 2.
Certainly does. Sunny, Desert Eagle, normally so scary. Gets 1 kill, but that's all he can get. Quickly shut down. Fox with a nice flashbang there towards the arch side, managing to find 2 frags, get the information. They've fully committed. They've already expended their utility. Had to go with it. And then finding UMPs all over the place and straight to the face. It's going to be round 3. Looks like a full eco for the T's. I can see 4 HE grenades. It is throwers top and middle. Hopefully take down someone like Fox. We'll see what happens. Nades. Oh, thrown for banana. This could get interesting. There's nades everywhere. Airstrike from the CTs and T side, but CT's suddenly coming out on top. They've got the armor to go with it, so they take minimal damage. Really does go down, but 4 kills in return. Penta now just with Sunny remaining, and he's just camping in T-spawn. Hate to see this.
Sunny battling in, battling on, 3-0 Dignitas. So good start for them on the CT side, but now it's time to see the challenge, Hank. Crystal Glass Cannon, I highly doubt it, unless they're really serious about trying to challenge Fox in that regard, but I imagine they'll do it with utility instead.
No, not at this point in the game, I think. Just get the AKs out. AWP not required on the T-side of Inferno necessarily. I guess she can flick a little 0-3. He was quiet on Mirage as well. He's one of the players not really turning up for Penta in the semi-final. Fox, though, loves the AWP on Inferno. It's quite dynamic and assertive. I think those are the kind of titles we've given him since he's picked up the AWP on this Dignitas side. This time he goes towards the apartments, trying to find the first frag. And you did say they'd challenge towards B. So far, Penta at the top. HS there. With Zen as well, pushing Tensky and Jacob back. They're on the bomb site right now. Tensky throws a smoke from CT spawn. That'll be coming in momentarily, I believe. You might just have the flashbang instead. Well, there's a smoke. It does come in eventually. Nice work by HS. That's considerable damage. Can't find the frag just yet, though. Okay, Tensky the reface with 1 HP. That was interesting.
HS gets another as well on entry. He's looked so sharp. Very, very sharp for Penta. Remember yesterday did have the ace on this map, but was slow in the morning. Better now. Krolman wants to try and re-challenge out toward the top of middle. But look at B site. Round over. Innocent may even just sit back to get more kills than what they've already achieved. 2 in ruins. No one's getting back that direction.
Well, at this point, we've discussed this many times before in Inferno. Throughout the ages of this map, losing the B bomb site with a couple of kills like that means the retake is so difficult. It's like you have to spend everything you've got, risk losing all 3 players, and you've got the lead right now. You're 3-0 up. You've got money to buy into the next round, just about. So you might as well save the AWP. The M4s you've got, there's no point in throwing those away just for the sake of some godlike retake. You might as well play the long game here and invest in your future map. Something I know you're a fan of.
I'm always a fan of everything.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Except for you, most times.
Well, you're in the wrong duo.
It's a good point, actually. I'm in the right duo, Hank. Look at us go. Rubino's going to try and stay in it. Bomb off, 5 stay up. AWP saved over, though, for Dignitas to the early call based on the abandonment of B at a fast pace. Means that they'll at least have another chance, another gamble into this round. I won't invest much onto the T side. Stick with pretty much what they had, Crystal included, on the M4.
Oh, Penta. First go around looking promising. You did say they'd pressure towards B. HS. I'm not going to call him an entry fragger specifically, but he's looking very good when he's with the team and going in with them. He's very crisp with that AK-47 especially. Like, it looks fantastic. And challenging Banana once again. You said that before in that smoke every single time. It's coming in. Matensky through it. He finds 1, but instantly replied by Crystal. It's going to be a 4-on-4, which does favour the terrorist team if you're not familiar with the game. It basically means the CTs now have to spread their defenses more thin, and it's going to be Penta, the T side, who can actually group up and exploit that potential thinner bomb site. We'll see what happens here as we go into the 1 minute 20 mark. Jacob and Rubino taking a bit of damage there, both down to about 65. 2 players now waiting, Fox and Croman, all for Fox on the arch side. Switching his attention between the apartments and arch. Difficult position to be in, a lot to watch here. Comes down to the timings, it looks like he's ready for it. If a flash comes over, he's done for. And he misses the first shot.
Backing again, goes for more though, does get Zen down this time. 2-2 split defensively, they've left arch open, but no one's pushed up. It's over toward B instead, where Rubino does challenge, but has to back off. caught out, but manages at least to kill on Crystal. It's Jacob that could entirely surprise them by going aggressive on the smoke, but only gets one, loses track of where Innocent had stepped.
Here we go. The clutch begins.
Bomb down early. Fox, that's not even the right angle. He wanted to try and spray in and get him during the plant with the AWP, but smoked off. He's fortunate because being exposed, he could have been caught. It's instead going to be Croman rotating back in. Croman's looked better today as well, by the way. Yesterday I wasn't really impressed. And by the way, that's a team ace.
A team ace in one round.
Yep.
All 5 kills picked up by the individuals of the team. You can see the skulls next to the names. Round number 6. 4-1 now in favor of Dig. That should be Penta getting whistled down at this one. They are planting the bomb, so they do get another buy here available. Crystal on the AWP this time. We're wondering when that comes down the T side. It seems like he's ready for it now. 4-1. Still a CT side of the fair here on Inferno. Not as biased as it used to be, but still rings true as we get into round number 6 here. In terms of the setup, 3 towards B once again. He did say they'd be challenging it, but they did before, and Crystal, that's even better challenge. Not towards Banana this time, top middle. Fox, I have to say, when I was watching the game you were casting, it seems like he wants to challenge T steps all the time. He gets punished a lot of the time for it.
Yeah, that was a big problem yesterday as well. He was doing it too much. And today there was a round in particular where the smokes came out at top mid that he stayed toward Boiler, and no one was even out front with him. So, yeah, it's certainly something to consider. That was a bit of a tragic statement from the Flash because it bounces off his teammate. That means Rubino, that single misplay could catch them out entirely because Rubino's in position. It costs them off. HS goes low. How does he do that? Through the edge of the wall. Rubino caught out. HS on 11. Still has a long way to go if he wants to win the round, but the headshot nearly gets there. Thankfully, Jacob takes a step back.
Yeah, good job by
But that whole thing started by a missed flash.
Yeah, absolutely. It got a bit dicey there for them, didn't it? Well, it's HS managing to pick up 2 kills, but that should be the end of the funds now for Penta. 2 rounds going against him. Dignitas 5, Penta 1. Fast plays once again and managing to find the first pick on towards the AWP. I thought that was going to be a chance for him to get into the bomb site, but here's HS. Lovely stuff there towards the library area, taking down Rubino. Number 7, it's going to be PT50's Deagles. 1 flashbang. And a chance for them to keep 5 players alive, Dignitas that is, as we the setup for the T side. Not going to have too much to work with here. A little bit of aggro there to start. Rubino looks towards second mid, takes down Sunny. And you'd probably be happy with that. You take down their MVP, pull back to the bomb site, and you're absolutely fine.
Smokes down at the bottom of Banana. Trying to test it, but not pushing down. Actually got HS through the smoke, so that's pretty good. They can test it against the pistols this time. They'll re-smoke it, so they are maintaining Banana control. Maybe not as effectively as against Big for obvious reasons, but more so than what they were able to achieve yesterday against Penta. So keep an eye on the fact that when guns come up, I expect they'll start to get aggressive against Jacob.
They're kind of biding their time here. Not really sure what they're hoping for. Maybe a mistake from the CB side, just walking into their crosses right now. Quite a fair enough procedure. 6-1. Only 1 round so far, of course, for Penta. Another buy available for them, though, AWP coming out this time. They're struggling a little bit here. In terms of objective for the T half, like you're at least looking for like 4 or 5 rounds, and that would be enough. Obviously, I think if you win the half, that'd be fantastic, but it doesn't look like Penta really can get going here. We actually saw this on day 1, Matt, if you remember Penta. They up against iGame, I believe it was, and they really struggled on the T side. It was like a massive clutch from Sunny, I think 2 in a row, that got them into the game, and then at that point, they got to the CT side, they were fine. But the last 4 rounds, he turned up, and actually gave them a fighting chance. And I was saying that wasn't the case, really, when on the analysis together. But okay, Penta don't seem to rely on this one player in particular. They're quite happy to have firepower across the board, and that's true, but in this particular encounter, they're looking pretty poor. 1 for 6 for Zen, Crystal 2 for 6. Quite a similar story until you get to the very top. HS with 5 kills after 7 rounds. I'm quiet for now. Another default. CT's full. I thought we said they're going to challenge Bernard. They got full control once again. Leaving 1 player there. 4 guns towards the A side. Sunny was lying.
Apparently so. He's fooled me. HS gets lagged by Fox, who's going to go off arch to the right. He's left on entry right side when they cross over. And unfortunately, they haven't been able to find him. They walk into another slaughter. Dignitas, who gave up ramp time and time again yesterday. They rectified problems, but it goes to show you how when it fits into place, you're able to play off of each other and everyone gets on the same page. They're able to hold the same position. But look at the HP, 18 for Crystal. It's 12 for Fox, 7 for Croman, and Bomb is down over toward Library. No one's really watching it directly, but he'll expect that they are, and as such has to move at a slow pace. 26 seconds left as well with the AK. Thinking about it. Has to go so that he runs across and in one motion grabs the bomb and lands in the sight. Harder target to hit. Jacob makes no mistake of it.
Penta making this too easy for Dignitas right now. This is just the basics of the map not really being achieved. They're not showing presence towards B, not really doing anything towards middle, just waiting 45 seconds and going up as a team. 4 players in the A site. There's a pretty clear reason why that's happening, because you're not going for that banana control at the start. You're allowing them to have it. Basically, one player at the car position. He has enough time just to spot down there, give information to his teammates. Then they've sent one back towards A, and then you'll walk into the Lion's Den. There's crossfires all over the place, and you're getting bombarded by utility, running through smokes, flashbangs, and it's looking really poor for Penta. This is their map pick, and I haven't really been convinced yet. But if I can see where are the B executes? Where's the basic banana control? Let's go back to that. If nothing else is working, the defaults are shocking. Go get some B control, smoke spawn, smoke coffins, Molotovs in, flash over. At least you've got a fighting chance of getting some trades in. Right now, it looks like they're a little bit lost.
Well, someone who will find them. It's Fox on his AWP. He may find, but he won't kill or hit his target. Rubino instead with Pensky this time, with Jacob as well. 3 players on B. They like to go to the top of B with the smokes early, but this time by staying there it actually benefits them. Watch the flash. Everyone a little blind by that, but Rubino makes no mistake. 8-1 for Dignitas. This is a map that's come to place.
This is the most convincing performance from Penta so far. Had the bomb down once. Won the first gun round, but that's what we call the little bonus round situation. UMPs and Famises are up for dig. Ever since then, been a very one-sided affair. 5 rounds in a row. Crystal brings out the AWP once again. Zen, a player I've been kind of singing the praises of for most of the tournament. 1 for 8 right now. I guess no one really arriving for Penta whatsoever. So Fox once more takes the shot in middle, and Croman, he delivers a little bit of aggressive play there towards second mid. Gets 2 frags, but it's got to be shut down by Crystal. 3-on-3 now, a chance for Penta at least. No real strategy deployed here, just waiting for the CTs to push into them and actually getting the trades.
Flash bounced off wall. Rubino to peek as a result of it.
Oh no.
He gets 2, we'll call it 2. It's his presence that creates the second kill, which was HS taking his teammate down. HS just finding ways to get kills in every round, isn't he? So Jacob's going to get Crystal. We go 9-1. They're looking rather relaxed.
As I said, when things start going horribly wrong, I was going to say something else. When things go horribly wrong, just go to the set pieces. If the defaults are getting completely blown out of the water, basic banana control, wait for the aggression of the stuff in the CT, you hold up in a default formation, objective. I'm in game leader right now, I'm saying, okay, default, no one dies. I mean, as passive you can be and still hold the choke points in terms of CTs not getting towards T-spawn, second mid, apartments. Then, wait for them to expend their utility. Like this smoke at the site, wait for that to go down. Use your flashbangs once they go down, get basic banana control. Let's just do an execution. That's all we can really do right now because no one's really arriving in the fragging. The defaults aren't finding any map control. This is better from HS. He does manage to get something rolling with the Tech 9. Takes down Tensky. Still a lot of work to do, I'm afraid. They will recover 1 weapon by the looks of things. Surely. There it is, M4 for HS. A player that seems to be able to crack open bomb sites by himself. They can fall back with the man advantage here. Is there a chance? They've decided to come back. Okay. Presumably Sunny on the other side of the map. I'm going to see on the radar. Yes, it is. This is becoming one of his calling cards, being up to bomb sites by himself. Flashbang comes with Rubino. Can he deliver?
Rubino trying to deliver against the shot toward Crystal, but HS gets him back immediately. Doesn't do much. That close up. Jacob is also going to try and go back in through Ruins. Same position. Pistols no utility as a result of the economy, so it should be an entry from Jacob that's quite convincing, but tags not kills onto Innocent. Fox does better, but Innocent gets 2 back after getting away from Jacob. He's killed his teammates quite convincingly, and I think Jacob's realized the grim situation, so we should go 9-2. 9-2.
We will. Out of nowhere, the Tech 9s deliver. Pushing through the smoke was HS. He got the first kill, upgraded to the M4A1, and manages to finish 2 in total. It's going to be the final situation there. Jacquim cannot get anything done. So Penta now, throwing a bone at least. And they will have plenty of money going forward. The AWP comes up for Crystal once again. As we throw number 12, coming to the closing stages of the first half here. We'll see if they can maybe find 4 or 5 rounds. As I said, I would take the tactical pause right now and see whether they can fall back to strategies instead of defaults.
So then, if they fall back to strategies instead of defaults, let's see if they can get some banana. I haven't had a banana today.
I have.
Yeah, I should have. I don't know I tried to. Henderson's going to make his way inside of the apartments. Clear them with some stray bullets through the wall. Fox, you want banana? Going to go aggressive. Oh, tags up HS. Zen's a little bit too late to act on it. Tensky still in beside the half wall as well, with Fox firing through it. Zen's just sitting there realizing, hey, wait a minute. Looking at his teammate screen to see if he can get any more information before he peeks out, and now they'll start up toward the B site. They are backwards. They have pushed them back, so this is what they ultimately needed to do, is slow them down so they can start to get banana and then start to execute either on a B or utilize it elsewhere on the map just by having the control as Fox is ready with the AWP. I'm going to go on this
There we go,
as
the
well.
execution. That's what we wanted. Okay, not like that, Zen. What was that?
Yeah, why do you line up exposed to throw a smoke?
Why would you do that?
Doesn't make sense. This Fox is going to get everyone in sights. It's 2, not innocent, but ooh, okay. Tensky getting 1. Bomb down, Sunny. Last alive, though. Doesn't have the confidence to plant. Look how quickly they're rotating up banana, so he's trying to put himself out of their sight and get Jacob before they arrive, but that's not going to work.
So we get the perfect setup for the execution. Sure, I can tell you what he's trying to do there. They're trying to have the surprise factor and say, oh, look, we're not doing a set piece because this smoke comes in super late, right? So it's like you can't call when it's going to the top saying smokes towards B. But still, at least flash around that corner first before that, or shoulder bait the shot out. Look how easy it is for Fox. Like, any AWP is going to hit this. Think about it. Who's missing that shot? No one. Oh, that's insane. Even if you've got the M4, you're hitting that. So that's really disappointing for Penta. They're really struggling here on the T side. When you've got that perfect setup, just do the actual execution. Now, the surprise factor, I don't think is an issue. You haven't got any presence anywhere else on the map. Let's just go with it. Let's just do the smoke CD spawn. The smoke's in, please. Just give that a go.
Fox is off of it, off the corner. All the way back around to the arch. It's going to be a wrap completely into the site. No one in the pit. They play 2-on-A this time. And Croman, with no pit support, still finds 2. And Sunny only manages to get him back as they get the AWP of Fox in position. So he walks out, and Fox is already able to take him down. Bomb dropped. Penta's looking really, really poor on this map. Zen. Decent run and gun. But now 11 rounds for Team Dignitas.
It is indeed. And no money for Penta. This feels like they might be out of their depth a little bit with this one. Round number 14. Might just have to force into this. Looks like they will. Tech 9's armor, Deagles, some smoke, flashbangs, and some highlights here of the previous round. Up towards quad this time, and can't really get much done there whatsoever. 11-2. They can get everything going. They managed to get their second round with the Tech 9s. They were 9-1 down. It was Tech 9s and nothing else towards Banana. And we'll see whether they can maybe have similar luck here. HS, I'm looking at you. Let's see what you got.
Not to name any names, but yeah, HS, bro. Another deep smoke. Tensky boosted this time on top of the wall. We'll try and fire toward the smoke. Let's see if they'll push through it. Jacob isn't really sure exactly where he wants to play just yet. Tensky being up on that wall has vision, but he has no smoke left, so Jacob doesn't want to consider getting back to help him. He's flashed off it now. He will rotate around still at CT spawn, so it'll pretty much be on the site if they continue at that pace, but they slow it down. Smoke out as well as Jacob's going to position himself on the inside of it with another one in front of him. He's confident to do so because if they push through, he's going to try and catch them off.
It's Sunny again. In the apartments, this is pretty much all they've got, it feels like, once they get some banana control. He's never really with the team. He's going for those kind of happy-esque plays. And then they go with the Tech 9s. It doesn't feel that promising. Jacob and Tensky, just mowing them down. A bit of a shooting gallery here as the Ducks run by. All 5 sprayed down. 3 for Jacob. Tensky gets 2. Final round now after 4 spying the previous one. This could be a 13-2 half map. And for all we criticised Dignitas on their CT half yesterday, I have to say Penta have really not impressed me on their T sides in this particular encounter. Looking pretty poor. Didn't fall back to the strategies, didn't go anything, didn't change the pace at all. Where the rushes, like, don't just free throw in the defaults and these kind of lackluster executing. This almost played themselves here, it felt like. But Dignitas have looked decent on the sides, mixing things up with aggression as well. So fair play to them. That skill coming in, like I said, 13-2 very likely here. HS pulls one back, but that might be all they pull back.
Fox trying to cover off the angle again on the AWP is going to be holding toward Arch. They've lost 1 in A, but they pushed down Banana again, so they could either rotate around or push all the way through if they get enough information toward A. Rubino covers off the apartments. Fox sees them top mid as well. Now they're going to go through Banana. 2 players push down. It'll be a confrontation toward the top of middle. Flank first from Tensky. Flash out. Fox hears it. Dodges it. Actually the smoke, but Tensky's positioning. Good job, Dignitas. Not only getting Banana, finally pushing all the way around it. Catch off Penta, 13-2. Pretty poor half from Penta as well. But Dignitas, again, 2nd game in a row, they've dominated the CT side.
Yeah, pretty stellar performance, I have to say. They're looking incredibly comfortable here on Inferno CT side, at least. It will be round number 1, of course. The pistol at this stage must win for Penta. Lose this, it is GG. They win it on the CT side. There's no real reason why they can't give the exact same treatment back to Dignitas. That's always a factor in CSGO. We've seen bigger crumbles than this before. Let's get into it. The buy comes in. 1 smoke, 1 Molotov for Rubino, the in-game leader, of course, and 4 sets of armor. Very fast play with the CTs, and Sunny looking to do some damage here. Not that much, so gets 1 kill, but lots of HE kills, or damage, I should say. It's up to Zed now to finish the job off, and that could be the game right there.
Smoke down, trying to get them on the cross. They jump over. Rubino and Tensky tagged out of it. Dignitas with bomb down, as you say, could have control of the game, or could they not? HS winning it. Banana suggests that they'll be able to wrap around from from Ruins with just 1 kill and completely pinch off the site. Low HP for Rubino and Tensky, but unfortunately it's just HS remaining. I spotted up the high HP player in Fox. But not much he can play for. Does have a kid. It's got to be perfect. He's got to hit that headshot immediately. These 2 should be easy. Can't even hit those. It's going to be Tensky. So good accuracy throughout the day. This time it doesn't come up for him. It's going to be 14-2, and like you say, could be the game right there.
I think so. Means they have to force buy into this one. Don't win this round, that is the GG, because they'll have no money for round number 3. I think they know it's over. We will be going to the next map. 14-2. So AKs, UMPs, not really much Penta can do than hold up in crossfires and hope that Dignitas make a mistake here. So overpass, just in case we get there, will be the 3rd and final map. I can't imagine Dignitas go that deep on this, considering what I've seen in the other matches. I don't think they've played that this tournament. I have to say, I have no idea. I haven't followed this team at all. They've been doing ECS while we did Pro League. So I'll be interested to see what they can bring to the table there. I'm sure Penta can probably play that map quite proficiently. So who knows? Round number 2 here. Damage being done. Jacqueline doing what he can in the apartments here. I've got to stop saying Jacqueline. That's going to become a thing in my head. I won't be able to stop.
Nah, it's going to be good when you do it at the major.
Yeah, right.
If he gets there.
Started off as a joke and it's
yeah,
stuck
just like Hank.
Yeah, that's got out of hand.
Just like your whole life.
Yep.
Rubino takes down Crystal.
Talking about games for a living. How did it happen?
That was kind of rude. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Sad. Last in it. It's going to be 15 map point for Dignitas. As you say, we do go to overpass to close out the night, to close out the upper bracket. Winner of this obviously goes through to the grand final, but that means not having to play until tomorrow night. They don't have to play at all until tomorrow night. So we start off tomorrow with actually the lower bracket.
Crack out the champagne today.
Yeah, why not?
Head to town.
The Rosewater. You could do.
Paint it red.
Definitely could do. It is Saturday, so yeah, lots of red to be painted.
Saturday.
All right.
Saturday.
Hank's taking a leaf out of my book right now.
I'm going insane.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the point I was trying to make
Go on.
was now back to the game, shall we?
Do you know how it feels now?
Is that the lower bracket tomorrow is actually, in some ways, yes, an elimination match from not making the finals, but that one team that loses that is the team that's not going to the qualifier.
Right. That is true.
Got there in the end.
It's a good point to make.
Tensky takes Zen. Smoke off towards CT. Do you want to swap completely? You can just start doing the play-by-play?
Nah, it's not my style.
Sounds good. Rubino takes down Sunny. Croman. Bomb picked up. Back to B. They're in the site. Pistols push through. Not only in the site, they're in the win. One for the win column, one for the W.
Absolutely, and then some. That was a bit of a stomping. Yeah, Penta, I'm sorry, they looked great on Mirage in terms of the T-sides and stuff like that, and then we went to Inferno, they didn't really have much in the tanker scene. That was a very lackluster performance, considering that's their map pick as well. Starting off the T-side.
And after what Sonny told me, they went for it specifically because they beat Dignitas, and they thought they could do that. Well, guess what? Dignitas has that in their back pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
That almost needs to become an auto ban at this level.
This is like a little boot camp for Dignitas now. Like, they started off pretty poor on the CT side of that map. Now it's getting better and better. And it's actually looking pretty convincing at this stage. That wasn't bad at all. I'm actually quite happy with that one. So there it is, 16-2 coming in, and Dignitas running away with it quite significantly. It was a very close game on Mirage as well, 16-13. After winning both pistols, a slight caveat there for Dignitas, but good showing so far. Overpass, I can't really speculate too much, as I said. We haven't really had a chance to follow this team since we've been casting. They've only been a team for 2 months, and we've been all around the place,
well,
right?
yeah. Obviously, we've kind of followed it with interest because it was Michael Elliot's new team. It's Rubino coming back over from the former Dignitas. They're bringing in Jacob, who was on phase effectively before Nico joined in. So it was interesting for sure. In fact, obviously, actually, the truth is, Kiyoshima left the team first. Jacob stayed. Jacob was then removed, and Kiyoshima came back because Kerrigan wanted him. So it's definitely an interesting team, but now we're starting to see some form from it. With that said, we go back to the panel with Paul.
Thanks very much, Matt. Yes, a 3-mapper it is then for the upper bracket final after a very, very big performance from Dignitas on Inferno. I feel like I'm repeating myself from earlier on, but it's not always been that way. They lost the last time they played against Penta on exactly the same map. They've certainly, Duncan, improved their CT side. What's that, six, 7 rounds now into Inferno games? I think you need to stop playing them on Inferno now.
It certainly seems like it. I mean, especially because the funny thing is we've seen Penta lose a couple of these Infernos, all have really, touch-and-go games, and yet that was the map that they had the crazy stats online for. So, I mean, I guess, first of all, when we watched the Big game, Big was so atrocious at fragging, it was hard to know how much of it was Dignitas, This game, I thought it was a lot more. Like, they really showed quality, because again, you could see patterns running, they actually could play the spots, and, they also rotated some of the spots up, like, they really seem like they've adapted from the mistakes they made earlier, and everyone can give lip service to that, like, oh yeah, when we lose, we'll go home and watch them. A lot of people don't. They just, what they really mean is I just won't make the same mistake.
It's obvious they have, isn't it?
It's clear that they're just a work in progress, I think they're a team who, it's their first land, they probably had to come here just to figure out what works, Whereas actually, conversely, Penta's kept thinking they can go back to this Inferno again, because online they're dominant on it. So,
well, I was going to ask you that as well, both of you, in fact. Is this just a result not only of them going back last night and maybe talking through some of the issues that they had on the CT side and fixing them, but also just confidence from playing more together on LAN?
I do think that they've started to get some things together and it's like they feel comfortable. Like, for example, this was exactly the scenario where the Penta guys were saying, oh yeah, well, when we saw Big play and other teams play them on Inferno, they didn't understand how to attack Fox at the B side. We're going to exploit that. You didn't do anything. You just smash your head off, and then Jacob was going off as well. So it just shows you, sometimes you think you've got, oh, if I was in that game, But if anything, who knows, maybe they did adapt to it, but Dignitas themselves fixed something from the last time they played, and they realized that it happens that way. So, yeah, just impressive stuff from Dignitas.
Yeah, and Harry, not unimpressive from Penta, because it wasn't like like Duncan said, it didn't look as bad as big earlier on, did it? With the lack of frags or a lack of entries or getting into bomb sites, there was still that going on. But somehow they just lost all of those rounds.
Yeah, and I think that kind of comes down to the fact that, when we saw Dignitas and Penta play originally, if you remember, we were expecting Dignitas to do quite well. It was a map that they looked good on. And then Penta go out and just kind of smashed them in it. And we were all kind of quite taken back by it, but there were clear issues. And Penta being the team to actually inspire that change, seeing Dignitas kind of primarily go off of what Penta did to make those changes in the first place and realize where there were mistakes. I think Penta just tried playing that same game once again. And, of course, that was exactly what Dignitas kind of tried to counter. So it worked out brilliantly for them.
Yeah, it did. Let's take a look at the MVP. Quick word for you on the MVP as well as we show you this. This is the 5th different member of Dignitas to pick up an MVP award. It's Tensky this time round, and I think that's kind of says it all about the team, really. They've all stepped up at various points that they've needed to.
Yeah, and obviously
new boy, old boy, middle boy, in-game leader boy, old AWPA boy. They've all had a shot at it.
It's all crucially the right timing to do it, because that was exactly what we praised Penta about. That was the one thing they'd really had it in spades. It was always different people. So yeah, I think first of all it shows that all members are starting to get a feel for the game. And someone like Tensky, when he was in Dignitas, the one that's North now, he didn't come close to sniffing an MVP,
Yep.
Like, or unless Config left his shirt on the back of his, a rocking horse or something, I don't know. But yeah, no, he was never going to be in the contention for that. And you've seen that across the board here. Fox has like reinvented himself as the old AWPA he used to be in the kick Portuguese teams. Yep. I mean, funnily enough, Rubino, the actual probably most overqualified player from last year, he's just the in-game leader. He has the occasional game himself. So you're really seeing a lot of depth from this team, actually. And that's one of the things when you looked at them as a team, there was a lot of question marks about Tensky. I mean, he wasn't knocking on anyone's door to be picked up, So they've really made a lot out of actually not that much in terms of a roster. It seems like they're exceeding expectations.
Yeah, Harry, when we go through it, Duncan's mentioned Fox has had some bright games and he's had some MVPs as well. Jacob also had a couple of quiet games, but also had some very big games for them. And perhaps more impressively, Croman, the new boy, has also had an MVP award in the middle of all of this and stepped up too.
Yeah, Croman's someone who has been kind of really impressing me. He's come into this quite new, and that's kind of the handy thing, having someone like Rubino in your team to help out. He's the one with all that rich experience and stuff to kind of simmer down the new kid. He's doing some fantastic stuff, by the way. Croman is. I think they originally played with was it Mutiras within the team?
I think as a stand-in, yeah.
Yeah. He was the original one, and then they brought in Croman, and originally it was kind of like, no one had really heard of him, and suddenly, even in the early days, he was performing really well, but it was clear that the edges were a little rough and needed to kind of be sanded down and rounded up, and they've done phenomenal. I mean, you really have to commend them as a team as coming together, and they came into this not like kind of this whole thing just as the team, and they looked a little bit rough, but now they're starting to look kind of like more like a finished product almost, if you will. Actually really selling themselves.
Yeah. I mean, future bright, really.
Yeah, definitely.
For these teams.
Well, the funny thing is, this really shows how actually being able to peak through a tournament really changes the way your perspective is on the team. Because remember, this is a team where you looked at the LDLC game, and I think even Dignitas would probably admit some of those rounds, like those were LDLCs to lose. They really could have gone out already, and we wouldn't even be talking about Dignitas now. But because they did escape that, remember, in that kind of a scenario, it doesn't matter how many you win by. It just matters that you win, because then you get another chance, you get another day in which to improve upon what you did and to actually show that you've got more. And they have done that today. We've had these big CT halves. That was the number one knock on them. So if that's gone, why not win the tournament, right?
Yeah, and that's equaled the biggest result that we've had over the last 3 days as well, 16-2. Impressive.
Yeah,
nothing else really more we could say about it. To be honest,
it was fantastic. Yeah. I mean, what 16-1 would be all we could really ask now to beat their record. But I mean.
We get a third map now, so that's good. Before they head to that third map, let's check in with our social media questions. We've managed to get through quite a few of them today, luckily. Thank you for all the questions that you put in there as well. Our latest one is, what are the odds of no NA teams qualifying for the major?
High. No, okay, no. I do think, we probably could see.
I don't think they're that high.
Do you not think Cloud9 have a reasonable shot at it? Liquid, maybe, if they can bounce
back? To me,
back?
it's Liquid that I mainly look at. Like, here's the thing. Cloud9, Liquid, Optic, in their own ways, have chance. Like, Optic still have a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
It can happen. You can have a little run there. Remember, it's not all the top teams. You can also be that lucky team that gets the reverse of what Optic got in the major, where you get the guy who upsets someone, so you've had 2 wins, and suddenly you haven't even played anyone good yet. That can happen as well. So I think Optic has the weapons. Cloud9, they have some of the players, but first of all, they haven't been in most of the recent majors, and obviously there's dysfunction in that team, no in-game leader. To me, the most obvious one's Team Liquid. Like, they're the team who legitimately could be on the rise. They're going to have time to get it all together. I think the pieces are coming together, and in my opinion, they have the best NA players. So, since I actually think Liquid will make it, I'll say not that high that no NA team. Like, especially if I can just pick any of them, I'd say maybe like 10% chance that no NA team makes it. I don't think all of them make it, though. Absolutely not.
And presumably, obviously, we're talking about Immortals as a South American team in this context, even though they're based in North
because
America.
I'm not going to give NO those 2 majors for that SK Gaming one. It's not going to happen, guys, I'm afraid. Don't care if they even get citizenship. It's not happening. So,
keeping out of that one completely. So you not think that makes sense?
No, I'm pretty much the similar boat there. Okay. I mean, the other thing with NA as well, I do think that when it comes, time to actually graft it out, they do, genuinely speaking, do quite well. It's something you kind of have to commend them for. Yeah. I think they are kind of, they're very, very good at getting their stuff together, on the lead up to it. I mean, they are ones that, sadly people do kind of jab at every now and again. But, I mean, for a start,
Matt more than anyone else, frankly, for a start, as a North American caster.
For a start, I have no grounds to stand on. Right? I'm from the UK. Like, what have we produced?
All the best talent in broadcasting of all time.
Yeah, I mean, look,
just that, I guess.
Look, I was just going to point out that there's 3 Brits on the panel here.
2 of them legends.
You 2 are absolute legends. I agree with that. And here we are in an upper bracket final again. Exactly, It just keeps happening, right?
Yeah.
Now.
So why do we need any players?
I get out of bed, trip over them in the final. Get at me, Cloud9.
Let's take one more question. You saw the players just headed back to their seats. There'll be a couple of minutes before they're ready to go. So let's take one more question if we can. Do you expect VP to be in form for the major? I mean, this is one of those odd ones, Duncan, isn't it? Because asking if VP are going to be informed for the major is a bit like saying, will they be motivated to play in it? And absolutely every single time, doesn't matter what kind of form in, whether they've been in good form. I mean, there was one major, I think they won 3 of the previous 4 tournaments and then came in and everyone was talking about them. Maybe they could be they were still in with a shout. It didn't matter whether they'd been playing well or not. Another tournament they've come in like this one. They come in on the back of a terrible run, frankly, and in their very illustrious career. You can never count them out in any match of a major.
You can't, and certainly, like, here's the thing, okay. In the past, all those majors that they did well years after the lineup was set, actually, the correct analysis is they shouldn't have done that. No, actually, they're doing badly right now in early 2016. Oh, before that, well, they're never going to beat Team X or Team Y, so maybe group stage this time. The problem is, because they kind of did the impossible so many times, I actually don't think that you can just say, well, they'll just keep doing the impossible. That's why it was incredible that they did it now. So I have to say, just with my analyst hat on, I'll go ahead and say no, because actually I look at the moment, like Snacks is not playing very well, and he's a key player. Also, part of the reason we've discovered through a lot of the interviews and a lot of the different, just watching them play over the years, is that they're not like what NIP tried to do, the same team from 4 years ago. They do really change up the roles and who the in-game leader is. So the problem is I feel like that has to happen as well. I feel like they need to do another change. And so then really what you're saying is in the kind of black box they're going to disappear into while they practice and no one gets to see them outside of tournaments, can they fix the problem? Now, it's clearly a tough problem to fix. They're the only ones who've ever done it in the past. So, okay, good track record. But I'll go ahead and say at the moment, I would bet on the other side of that. I'd say I don't think they'll have a deep run. I think maybe they could maybe get out a Swiss system. That could happen. But I don't think this is going to be one of the ones where you're like, they might win the major. I just don't see it at the moment. And so if they can prove me wrong, fair play.
All right. Okay. I'm hearing that the players are all back and ready to go.
Definitely not, because I can see that guy. He's not in his chair right now.
He was kind of headed back towards his chair, so we'll let him off.
Okay.
We'll let him off. We will head back to our commentators now for yet another game. We've got one more game for you. That is the last game of the night. Let's see how we fare and who will go through to the grand final, Penta or Dignitas.